What's happening YouTube? This is Runner from BellaTorGero.com. Not arrogant, just better. Just going to get my pre-fight predictions on UFC 130, Hamill versus Rampage. I'm a bit disappointed that Frankie Edgar and Gray Maynard got injured, and we've got subsequently Rampage Jackson versus Matt Hamill, which I think will still be a good fight. And I think the card, anyway, top to bottom, is pretty stacked. So yeah, I'm going to start off with the first fights, which I see, which is Stann versus Jorge Santiago. In the middleweight division, we have Jorge Santiago versus Stann. Stann is coming off a big win over Chris Lieben, and obviously Lieben was making his way up the ladder on 185. And Santiago, I haven't really seen much about him, but I know he's pretty even with his submission game and his striking game. He's got 9 knockouts and 12 submissions, and I think he's lost about 8 times. Stann, he's fought probably 2 or 3 times in 185. He's got good boxing. I haven't really seen much of his ground game. I believe if Santiago takes this to the ground, it'll be a long night, or a short night if he gets choked out. But in this fight, I'm going to go with the obvious choice, which is going to be Stann, and I believe he's going to get, not believe, stop saying believe, I think he's going to get this fight won via, let's see, let's go second round knockout, or TKO, because I keep saying knockout, but we'll say TKO. So Stann's going to win this fight via TKO. Next, in the welterweight division, we have Thiago Alves versus Rick Story. Rick Story, very good fighter. I think he's lost 3 times. He's lost against Mario Miranda in his first ever fight that he fought in the MMA, and the other fight he lost against John Hathaway. Both of them fighters, well, obviously he's grown since them fights, and another fighter, which I can't remember his name, Coy I think it was, but anyways, back to this fight. Rick Story, yep, he beat Johnny Hendricks, and Johnny Hendricks I thought was a pretty good fighter. He was like more of a Amir Sadala. He's not the upper echelon, he's like the middle. He's like one of them people that, a card filler, should I say. Anyways, Thiago Alves, he's fought for the title once. He's fought for the number one contendership twice, which he's lost. He's fought higher level of competition, and I think this fight is just going to be a bridge too far for Rick Story. I know he's never been knocked out. He's only gone to a decision 3 times, where he's lost as such. But I just think this fight is just a bridge too far for him, and I think that Thiago Alves has got better striking. If he comes in right bang on weight and he's not drained or anything like that, I think it'd be a pretty easy night for him. And yeah, I'd like to see Thiago Alves fight someone, maybe Jake Shields next. You know what I mean? It'd be a good fight, because you want to see Jake Shields like take a actual, well, he took a massive punch against fucking Dan Henderson, but I think Thiago Alves is more sustainable power, and yeah, going off course again. Yeah, I'm going to go with Thiago Alves, which is the obvious choice again. I think Thiago Alves is going to get this fight won via TKO in the 3rd round. Moving on to the heavyweight division, we have Browne versus Stefan Struve. Browne is coming off a draw with Czech Congo, which I had Czech Congo losing in that fight in my predictions, but on the night of the fight, I had Czech Congo winning, but he got deducted points for grabbing shots or whatever he was doing. Anyways, Browne in that fight, he gassed after the 1st round. He throws big punches. He ain't got really good technique or anything like that. He's a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is obviously was better than Czech Congo at the time. And the thing is, Stefan Struve, he's young. He's got 24, 25. He's had a lot of fights to see. He's pretty young. He's 6'11". Well, Browne's not no midget either. He's 6'7", and it's going to be an interesting fight between these two. I think if it goes out the 1st round, you're going to see Stefan Struve win this fight. If it goes to the ground at any point, I think Stefan Struve's got the longer legs, and he likes to catch people in triangle chokes, and I think that's what he's good at. But both of these fighters will like to stand and bang, and the only worry I've got about Stefan Struve is in the fights where he's been knocked out in the UFC by Roy Nelson and Junior Dos Santos, he's been caught early in the fight and they basically shut him away, and that's the type of fighter that Travis Browne is as well. Obviously he would have learned from them defeats, and I'm going to go with the upset. Even though I like Stefan Struve and I want him to win, I'm going to go with the upset, and I think Travis Browne's going to get this fight won in the first round via TKO. But I do want Stefan Struve to win, and I think he's more of a better technical fighter in every aspect of this MMA fight. But the way that Travis Browne throws his big swinging punches, it could be an upset. In fact, no, I'm going to stop there. Travis Browne's going to win this fight. No, he isn't. Stefan Struve is going to win this fight now, because I've been thinking, yeah, Stefan Struve's going to win this fight, and he's going to win via second round triangle choke. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, that's it. Stefan Struve, triangle choke, second round. And moving on to the co-main event, we have Frank Mir versus Roy Nelson. Roy Nelson is coming off a big loss, well, not a big loss, coming off a loss where he showed that he's got a great chin against Junior Dos Santos. Dos Santos was smashing him from every single direction. I thought he was going to get knocked out in the first round when he fell over a good couple of times, but got back to his feet, covered himself up with his arms, because that's one of his best attributes. He's good at covering up Roy Nelson, and when people are throwing punches like Junior Dos Santos was, he was hitting more elbows, forearms and stuff like that, and he was covering himself up nice and well. Frank Mir in his last fight against Mirko Cro Cop did not impress me, and I was very disappointed with Frank Mir. Obviously that was a while back now, and hopefully he would have rectified his game plan, because Frank Mir is the type of fighter who breaks down a fight and says why he does this, why he does that, and how he does all this sorts of stuff. And I know both these fighters are both black belts, and they've both got good ground games, but going back to footage of a while back, I saw Frank Mir and Roy Nelson in a grappling match, and Roy Nelson pretty much dominated Frank Mir on the ground. But this is MMA, they've got punching involved now, so this is basically a top coin toss, and it doesn't really justify where these fighters are going to go. Like, if one of them wins, then he just gets a win, and he's back in line for another shot or a #1 contendership title picture sort of thing. Roy Nelson, I don't think he's ever going to get to the top of the heavyweight division in UFC, and I don't think Frank Mir can get back up there again, because he's been knocked out too many times, and the only thing with Roy Nelson's game is, yeah, he's got that one-punch knockout power like he did against Brendan Schaub, but in that fight with Brendan Schaub, he was losing the fight, I thought. Well, if you watch it again, you'll see Brendan Schaub was landing a few more shots, and he looked better. But then Roy Nelson came up with that one punch. Well, that's all it takes, one punch to knock someone out anyway. And Frank Mir, he just looked really crap against Cro Cop, and obviously Cro Cop's retired now because he has to. And the fight before that, he lost to Shane Cowan. What I'd like to see Frank Mir come to this fight at 265 pounds of solid muscle and impose his will and impose his strength and power on Roy Nelson. Because if Roy Nelson gets you on the ground and gets you in that crucifix position again and slaps you on the head or whatever a couple of times, then the fight's going to get stopped. But it's going to be interesting. I'm going to go with Roy Nelson. I think he's got the better hands. I think he's got the all-round better hands. I know people are wanking over Frank Mir when he knocked out, well, not knocked out, knocked down Czech Congo. But I'm going to go with Roy Nelson on this fight, and I think Roy Nelson's going to get this by decision. I think when he gets, it's weird to see this fight. It's unbelievable. Right, forget it. Break it down. Roy Nelson is going to win this fight, and I think he's going to get it by decision. I don't want to see it go decision. I'd like to see a knockout or a submission, but it's going to go decision, and it's got to go to Roy Nelson. And Roy Nelson will probably fight the loser of Well, he might fight Shane Cowan after Shane Cowan gets knocked out by Julio Santos. But anyways, yeah, going on a bit. Roy Nelson's going to win the fight by a decision. And moving on to the main event, we have Quinton Rampage Jackson versus Matt the Hammer Hamill in the light heavyweight division. Right, I've lost a lot of respect for Quinton Rampage Jackson because he says, "Oh, I don't want to fight for the title anymore." Well, I know you can earn a lot of money in the UFC, but being the champion that's where all the money is at. It's like that's where you can go from being just an average Joe to being light years away. Like, I know he's always been champion before, and then once you've got the belt, you've got a target on your back. So I can see where he's coming from in that aspect, but Matt Hamill is the type of guy who wants to be champion as such, because you see he's always working his way up. He's saying, "Oh, I want to fight someone who's in the top 10," and then he says, "Oh, now," he says, "this is him to get into the top 5." Well, obviously he's working his way up. Obviously he had a few setbacks with like John Jones and stuff like that. Obviously he won that fight, but I think it's going to be an interesting fight between these two. I know Matt Hamill's got a good chin, and I know what T. Ortiz was saying about he's got no bones, so if he gets hit in the head hard, he'll lose the equilibrium. And I don't think Matt Hamill is going to be stupid in this fight. He's going to be smart. He's going to take Rampage down. He's going to stand with him a little bit because Matt Hamill likes to stand and bang with people, as you've seen in the Keith Jardine fight, as you've seen in the Tito Ortiz fight. But Rampage Jackson has got heavier hands than Tito and Keith Jardine. So if it stays standing, I'm going to give the advantage to Quinton Rampage Jackson. But I think Matt Hamill's going to fight smart, and it's going to be a big loss to Rampage, because on the other hand, he could have been fighting Shogun for the light heavyweight title, and he could have been champion again. But I don't think he would have got past Shogun. But now he's going to fight Matt Hamill, who's technically outside the top 5 in the light heavyweight division, and then that's going to drop his ranking, because I think he was like 3rd or 4th for some reason, Quinton, and I think he's just going to drop down out of the top 5. Obviously he's a big name. He obviously starred in the movie The A-Team, and I just think that it's going to be a bad fight for Quinton Rampage Jackson, and I think Matt Hamill's going to be fighting someone pretty decent next. Don't know who exactly, but yeah, I think Matt Hamill's going to fight the smart fight. He's going to take Rampage to the ground. I know his takedown defense is meant to be good, but I think Matt Hamill's wrestling is going to be far superior to Quinton Rampage Jackson's takedown defense, and it's going to be a long night where Rampage is on his back, and yeah, Matt Hamill's going to win this fight. I've got a few of my mates, Dean Parr, checking you out. Yeah, he thinks that Rampage Jackson's going to knock out Matt Hamill first round, which I don't think that's going to happen. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm going to go with Matt Hamill, and he's going to win this fight via decision, because I don't think he's going to knock out Rampage, and this is not going to end in submission. And yeah, that's it really. I'm going to go with Matt Hamill via decision, and that's it. And Rampage is going to fight someone. He's going to fight a bum next, I think. Well, yeah, most likely when he loses to Matt Hamill. Yeah, that's it for me on my UFC predictions. 130, Quinton Rampage Jackson versus Matt the Hammer Hamill, and it's going to be a good card. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 for the actual fighters that are on the card at the moment, and it would have been an 8 if Frank Edgar and Gray Maynard was on it. But let me know what you think. Post a thumb up or a thumb down if you don't like the video. If you don't watch it next time, simple as that. And this is me, Runner, signing out for my UFC predictions. 130, Matt Hamill versus Rampage Jackson. Peace.